Welcome to Talking in a Time of Uncertainty. I'm your host, Lucas Dodson, alongside my guest, Felisa Israel. Felisa, thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me. This is so exciting.
Yeah, and it's good to talk to people, whether it's virtually or over the phone during this time because we can't see people in person.
Do that.
And for those that may not know Felisa, she has been everywhere, and I mean everywhere in the world of sports entertainment. From 1994 to 2000, she served as the director of entertainment and special events for the Phoenix Suns. With the Suns, Felisa actually won an Emmy Award for in-game videos and was a pioneer of the entertainment experience that we see in every NBA arena today. While in Phoenix, she helped start the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury with Jerry Colangelo. She then went on to be the director of the NBA's live programming and entertainment from 2000 to 2008. In this role, Felisa produced and directed large-scale live events such as All-Star Weekend, the ceremonies that take place at the end of NBA Finals, and consulted directly with NBA and WNBA teams on their entertainment experience. She then took over as the owner of the Entertainment League, which was a celebrity basketball league originally owned by the NBA that featured notable stars like Jamie Foxx, Zac Efron, and Adam Sandler. In 2011, Felisa founded Tenfold Entertainment, a company that produces creative and innovative live sponsored events on a regional, national, and international scale, as well as develop marketing programs to add extra value and increase its clients' sponsorship opportunities. Tenfold has had many A-list clients, such as the LA Clippers, San Antonio Spurs, Bleacher Report, and the Texas Longhorns. She has also been a visiting professor at the UCLA Anderson School for the last 3 years. In 2019, Felisa began her latest venture, founding Impact Internship, a program that places ambitious college students and recent graduates with paid internships at some of the most powerful companies in sports and entertainment. Felisa has connections in every corner of the sports and entertainment world, and much of that can be chalked up to her remarkable ability to network, which is so essential in this industry. But on this path, Felisa, there had to be moments where the immediate or long-term future felt uncertain. And did any of these moments particularly stick with you, and how did you exactly work through them?
Well, you mean besides COVID?
Besides COVID, so throughout your career.
Yeah, actually, this time of COVID, it's certainly reminding me of, actually, two particular challenging times in my life. The first being 9/11. Living in New York, working for the NBA during 9/11, I remember that I went to my office in New Jersey, and I got there at around 8:30 in the morning, and then at 8:40, the first plane hit the first tower. By 9 o'clock, the second plane hit the second tower. I had a younger sister living in the city at that time, so the NBA entertainment offices that I was working in was in New Jersey. I actually saw the second plane run into the second tower, or fly into the second tower through
Wow.
my window across the river. And I remember saying, like, I have to go back to the city. And everyone at my office was like, "You're not going back to the city." And I'm like, "Yes, I am." They're like, "You can't." And I go, "What do you mean?" And they said, "The city's on lockdown." And I go, "What does that mean?" And all the bridges and tunnels were closed. And in that split second, I realized that Manhattan is truly an island. You can't get to it or from it unless you go over a bridge or through a tunnel or on a boat, right? And that changed what I was responsible for at that time at the NBA. I was traveling a lot. I was on about 6 planes a week, traveling to different NBA teams, evaluating their game experience in, presentation, and reporting our findings back to Commissioner Stern at the time, and in a department called TeamBO, which stands for Team Marketing and Business Operations. So getting on a plane right after that was a little scary. We didn't have iPhones. We didn't have, live streaming. We didn't have things in real time. We had the teams had to videotape via satellite and then submit those tapes to us in order for us to see what happened at their games, which you can't really get the live experience in that. So that was one. And then the second one was 2008 when the economy crashed. That's when I left the NBA and I took the risk of becoming an entrepreneur. So I went from being an employee for all those years. And then I said to myself, if not now, when? I don't really have any more to lose. I only have something to gain. So I became an entrepreneur in 2008. And right now, in COVID, there's so much room for error. There's nothing but room for error. It's a blank canvas. It's a time now to take risks and be brave and just try things that you've always wanted to try that kind of seemed far-fetched, but people are doing it now and it's awesome.
Yeah, and speaking of trying things and trying things that you've wanted to do, I mentioned a little bit about your Phoenix Suns work and how you really did transform the in-game entertainment experience. And as I remember, that was a story of being ambitious and having ideas and working to implement them and trying them out and experimenting. So could you elaborate a little bit on that story and what exactly you did with the Suns to change the entertainment experience?
Sure. Well, first off, I have a question for you. Have you been watching The Last Dance?
Yeah, of course.
So, just to put things into perspective for you and your viewers, the Suns, who was their superstar?
Charles Barkley.
That's right. They went head to head in the championship in what year? Do you remember?
1993.
1993 against MJ. They ended those finals June 1994. I started August 1994 at the Phoenix Suns. So needless to say, there were no Diamondbacks. There were no Coyotes, kind of the Cardinals. And that ticket was on fire. That was the hottest ticket in town. And I was lucky to be a part of that. And, Charles obviously was king of the hill. He could have run for mayor and he would have won that year. And so when you're a winner, like you have opportunities to take risks because everyone's loving what's happening and everything's going on. And in 1997, when the WNBA first started and we started the Phoenix Mercury, hip hop was on the rise. At that time, it had a negative connotation because of Biggie and Tupac, and it had, gang-related affiliation, that sort of thing. But I helped to create the first co-ed dance team. I found all these like underground street dancers, hip hop dancers, and I put them in like overalls. Like perception is key, right? So I put them in overalls, and I created like a fun logo, and I didn't care like how perfect they looked. They were totally hired on their dance abilities, on their body language, and their contagious smiles and eyes and personalities. And we hired all these hip hop street dancers when it wasn't an acceptable time at that time, but it's because of how we presented them. It worked, and they became such a fan favorite. It's one thing that I'm really proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like that is almost like foreshadowing what happened today and how, nowadays that is the norm, is the street hip hop dance.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how like ahead of the curve you and the Suns were on like getting ahead of that and really changing, I guess, the perception, as you said.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they're called the Phoenix Mercury Hip Hop Squad since 1997 till today.
Hasn't changed. That's crazy.
No. Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
And how have you used, because I mentioned your ability to network and how that's done so much for you in your career, and how have you used your ability to network to your advantage throughout it?
Well, relationships are key. I mean, look, you and I met how long ago?
That was 2018, so almost 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and we stay in touch. I've stayed in touch with you through certain things. You've stayed in touch with me, like obviously through this and other things. And relationships are key, but not just knowing people, but maintaining your relationships sincerely. So, there's a saying, as we talked about before, like your network is your net worth. And everybody would say to me, "Oh, Felisa, you know everybody, you know everybody." And I'm like, yeah, that's great for my ego. But what's the point of knowing everybody if there's not a rewarding or fulfilling exchange between the relationship? So right now, in the internship program that I started called Impact Internship, it's a professional development and internship placement program because of all these people that I know. We have placement partners like Wasserman Sports Agency and the Dodgers. And did you go somewhere? There you are. The New York Mets. the Phoenix Suns, the Phoenix Mercury, the Arizona Diamondbacks, the Arizona Cardinals. Like, we have so many people, we have so many people that are partners that are helping us to place interns. And it's because of who you know, but it's what you know. It's who you know that gets you in the door, but it's what you know that helps you stay in the door.
Yeah, and I feel like with you especially, you have those connections and the people that you know just are so broad and they cover so many fields. Like I remember in your class a couple summers ago, I mean, we had so many guest speakers from literally everywhere. I remember you mentioned how like Terrell Owens came
Yeah,
before, but
yeah.
unfortunately missed TO. But you know, you had everyone from what was his name? Andrew Bernstein, the
Uh-huh.
photographer, had
Mm-hmm.
people like that. Then you
And
had
by the way, Andy Bernstein, if you really look closely in The Last Dance, he's nearly in every single episode.
really.
Oh yeah,
Because I mean, he's probably right under the basket taking the big pictures.
in
Or is
basket, locker room, championship room, when champagne is being poured on people's I mean, that guy captured all of the iconic shots. The picture of
yeah,
Michael holding the trophy with his dad before the last picture he took before his dad passed away. I mean, that's all Andy. He took Kobe's first shot on the court, first shot off the court. Like,
yeah, like he's really done it all. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
he's a very impressive photographer. And I mean, you even had people from esports in there and all that. So like that, I feel like that ability to know so many people and so many places, not only does that benefit you like yourself and the people you could know, but like if you ever have any sort of like change of heart and feel inspired to try something new, you know, knowing someone there to get your foot in the door, I feel like is so important.
I had to earn these things in my relationships all of these years. So who knew that I was going to like transition a part of my life into the educational space, you know,
Yeah.
but because all these people trust me, they know I'm credible, they respect me. Um, it helps for me to be able to build a whole new like business in a whole new industry, incorporating my relationships.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And going back to the theme of uncertainty, so during a moment of uncertainty, like you mentioned 9/11, the recession in 2008, was there ever a piece of advice that someone gave you that really helped you push through the time?
Be patient.
Just patience?
You know, I have a very A-type personality. Do you know what that means?
Not exactly, no. Could you explain?
An A-type personality means someone who's very ambitious, very assertive. If somebody tells me no, I say, why not? I take every opportunity and I look at it as a challenge, and I have a very competitive spirit, and I like to overcome obstacles. And so I just go in between the eyes and I go. And when I'm determined, nothing gets in my way.
Hmm.
So that's an A-type personality. And sometimes I don't have the patience because I can see things in my head and it's so clear to me what the goal is, and I want to just achieve that goal. But there's a protocol, there's steps, there's ways to get there. You can't just jump from A to Z, right? You have to like go through the protocol and the process. So I've had to learn how to be patient, and someone who is extremely influential that everyone on here knows looked at me once and just said, Felisa, you need to be more patient. And I was like, all right.
And who is this influential person?
Jerry Colangelo.
And the guy you started the Mercury with. That, yeah, that I can see how like someone like Gary Colangelo, you know, when he says something, gives you a piece of advice that you really got to take that to heart.
Yeah, because he's now the managing director for USA Basketball, and he has
Yeah,
been, I think, the last 3 or 4 goals.
yeah,
And he started the Arizona Diamondbacks and won a world championship actually 4 years later after the Diamondbacks started against the New York
yeah.
Yankees a month after 9/11, which is like mind blowing. But yeah, he's someone who like he doesn't speak a lot, but when he speaks,
Hmm.
it's meaningful. And so I remember talking to him about something, and I was like, "But what about this? And why don't we do like about?" And he just looked at me and goes, "Felisa, be patient."
I too need a reminder, like the patience sometimes, especially in a time of uncertainty, just sitting back and looking at the full picture is so important and really can help you get through that.
Yeah,
So
and
I
when
think
there's somebody
great.
that you have a lot of admiration for and a lot of respect for, and someone who you want to emulate morally and from a integrity and a value system, they say something, you want to respect what they have to say to you because you know that it's coming
Yeah.
from a profound and meaningful place.
And on the topic of advice, as you know, the class of 2020 are some of many that are facing a pretty uncertain future as we, as in the class of 2020, enter the first phase of our adult life. Is there any advice that you would like to share with members of the class in 2020, or really anyone who's entering another big phase of their life right now?
I would say definitely be patient because now is like, that's like a pay it forward, piece of advice. Because, listen, right now there's two perspectives. The perspective is this sucks, right? This sucks. Like everything that we've worked so hard for, and we can't graduate, and we can't go through our party, and we can't go through our celebration. Like it sucks. I can't. I have a live event production company. I produce live events for a living. That's how I pay my bills.
Yeah.
And now I can't. And I've mastered a fan experience for 25 years of my life. And now, there's literally, so I can say that to myself and be like, you know what, this sucks. But on the flip side, if you look at history, this will pass. Who knows when, but it will. And right now, it's just, I feel like we're all in a timeout. The whole world is in a timeout. And, when a kid is bad, a child is bad, parents put their kid in timeout to have they're being disobedient, so it gives them a chance to breathe it out and think about their actions, and or coaches put their players in timeout. Why? To breathe it out, to refocus, re-strategize, and think about what they're appreciative for and how they're going to maximize moments. Right now, like I said, there's nothing but room for error. It's a blank canvas, with the exception of this picture. It's a blank canvas. And right now is the time to be creative. Right now is the time to be ambitious. Everyone's home. Everyone's in front of their computers. Reach out to people that you never thought would ever answer your phone. It's easier now for you guys, the class of 2020, to reach out to people and communicate with people in a way that I certainly didn't have those opportunities. Talk about networking. Your description of networking versus mine, what I had to go through, two totally apples and oranges.
Yeah.
No comparison. I didn't have social media. I didn't have iPhones. I didn't have DMs. I didn't have Twitter. I didn't have these things where you can be like, oh, 2 Chainz, I want to write a song. I'm going to ask 2 Chainz if he wants to write a song with me, or maybe if he'll sing my song. And you can literally DM 2 Chainz, and you can be like, hey, 2 Chainz, my name is Lucas, and I like writing songs, and I have something that I think would be fire, and you should check it out, right? You can literally send him a message and take the chance of him actually looking at it.
Yeah.
So I would say, do things that seem scary, but who cares? What do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. You only have something to gain.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. The way of looking at it as a timeout is something that I've thought of, but I never really put it into words. I think it's the perfect way to describe it, is like a timeout, because with the coaches and with the parents, that's such a perfect way to put it. With this time, it's just a matter of what you do with it and come out strong on the other end. Because I can make I don't even know if this is a bold prediction, but I feel that with our class, going into the future, when we start applying for internships and for jobs, people may see that we graduated high school in 2020 and say, hey, what did you do in this time? What did you do with your free time? Did you show ambition? Did you connect? And that could be something that's very important in the future. So
for me, I would look at that. If someone like you came to me in 6 months to a year from now, and you're like, look, this is my passion. This is what I want to do. I want to learn more. I want to get my foot in the door. And this is what the initiative that I've taken to start doing things like this. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I would be like,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm like, this kid, I want him around me because he's going to make me better. I'll make him better, but he's going to make me better.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about, is just self-improvement, improving others, and, working together.
Yeah.
And I think that this time more than ever, working together is important. That's how we're going to get back on our feet. That's how we're going to progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
Well, Felisa, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your wisdom, your insight,
My
all that.
pleasure. Yeah.
And take care. Stay safe.